Don't worry. Ngihlale ngithi ngami, the boat, sengisho ngiyaconfess, the train yomshado yangishiya. Because I've lost too many great people. Now I'm attracting rubbish. I'm sorry. I didn't call ngami. So why uphatheka kabi? Angakuphathi kabi. Ngidilile nayo lento le.
This right here is a problem for me. Yabona le, this one is a problem, a serious problem for me. Because I have seen this so many times. I've seen this so many times in the church where people get up there. People climb the pulpit only to settle personal scores. I grew up in the church. It's only in my 30s when I realized, maybe I don't want to be in the church so much. I started just walking a different path for myself. But because I grew up in the church and spent the majority of my adult life in the church, I have seen this too many times. The arrogance in this man's voice, I recognize it because I have seen it. I've heard it too many times. I've seen it too many times. So this man got up on the pulpit. The pulpit, guys, a place where the word of God is supposed to be preached. He got up there and he says he is attracting rubbish. He starts going on about his personal life, says he's attracting rubbish because inqola yomshado, the marriage ship has sailed for him. He's now attracting rubbish. Mind you, this man was married a few years ago. Or let's go back even further than that, maybe about 10 years ago or so, whenever it was. 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, around the time when he won Idols. This is the same man who was rumored to have broken up Nomzamo Mbatha and Jessica Nkosi's friendship. This same dude right here. How do you then break up two women's friendship? You date both of them, right? Now, I don't know what happened. Me, I wasn't there. I just read what everybody else read in the papers. So I'll go ahead and say it was alleged that he was dating both Nomzamo and Jessica. Now, how do you date two women when you yourself are not rubbish? How do you date two women when you're not rubbish? Okay, so that passed. The friendship went to hell, and we moved on from there. And then this guy popped up, and he was now married to former Miss South Africa, Ndando. What's her name? I forgot her name. Ndando something. Beautiful girl, former Miss SA. Now Khaya Mthethwa married her, and they had a beautiful baby boy together, right? Now, allegedly, Khaya cheated on her, which is why the marriage fell apart. And actually, I believe that he cheated on her because Khaya himself got up on the pulpit, or was it the pulpit or wherever he was speaking? It was a platform that he got up on and started saying, and I don't remember his exact words, but I was watching it online, and he was saying, no, I told my dad, I told my pops, this thing is not gonna work, I'm still young, I still wanna experiment. It's not this marriage thing. I told my dad, I'm still a hot-blooded man. I don't know, I don't remember the exact words, but it was something along those lines of, I told my dad I didn't want to get married, I still want to play around. Basically, that's what the guy was insinuating. That he didn't really want this marriage arrangement because he wasn't done playing. He wasn't done being for the streets. He wasn't done being a 304. What do the Americans call it? A 304. Men can also be 304s. So he was basically not done being a 304. He told his dad, apparently from what I gathered listening to him, it was his dad. It was probably his dad who wanted him to get married. And he wasn't ready. He himself wasn't ready for that. He still wanted to play the field. and now Untando something was there. The former Miss SA was there. You understand? So he married her. The marriage didn't work out, apparently because he was cheating on everything that wanted to cheat with him. Fast forward, guys, fast forward to 2025. And Khaya Mthethwa has the audacity of getting up on the pulpit and calling women rubbish and saying he's attracting rubbish. Sir, you are attracting what you have been for the past 10 years. Sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. Nobody feels sorry for you. Getting up on the pulpit with all arrogance. You know, I'm attracting rubbish. I'm attracting rubbish. Yeah. What you've been putting out there has finally caught up with you. And now you are attracting exactly what you have been to all these women that you've played with over the last few years. Why can you dish it, but you cannot take it? What is so special about you that you must cheat on people, but no one has a right to cheat on you? You must go ahead and be rubbish to people, but no one can be rubbish to you. Why do you think you're special? Like, I watched this thing and I have a problem with this. Happened a while ago, right? But I have a problem with people not calling out this mess. I have a problem with South African men, especially content creators. What's his name? The guy from church reality or church what. He did a video on this, and he was, instead of calling out Khaya Mthethwa, the guy was saying, and to be fair, I didn't even watch the whole video. I got irritated because it just seemed to me like he was making excuses for Khaya Mthethwa. He was making excuses for Khaya, so I was like, I sugar, because he was saying, no, what Khaya meant is there's too much advice online. Pardon me, there's too much advice online. Now women are thinking like this. Now this has happened. No, what he should have said is, no, what the guy should have done was to be faithful to his wife and stay with his family. His marriage will still be intact today. But no, they want to run the streets. They want to run the streets and only realize later that, you know what, I messed up. But instead of taking accountability to say, wow, I messed up. No, they're going to come, get on the pulpit and insult women and say, it's a woman's fault. It's a woman's fault. I'm attracting rubbish. That's why I'm not with anybody. That's why I'm not getting married. That marriage boat has left me. No, you got off the marriage boat. The marriage boat was right there. You decided to get off. You decided to not appreciate the marriage boat while it was still there. And now, instead of being accountable, you are calling women rubbish. And you know, I'm so proud of the congregants, the people who were in that church, which made me think, you know, maybe South African church people, South African churchgoers are not as foolish as American churchgoers. Because if this man was in America, Black American people would have just cheered him on. He would have called women rubbish, and those people would have cheered. Because remember when Pastor John Gray cheated on his wife, Aventa, is her name Aventa? John Gray went and cheated on his wife, Sana, and he came back into he climbed the pulpit, obviously, like they all do, climb the pulpit and start, you know, fighting carnal wars from the pulpit. Stand there completely in the flesh and start fighting fleshly wars, Sanalam, because the pulpit is theirs, the pulpit is their own, they can do whatever the hell they want, apparently. So John Gray got up on the pulpit and started saying, you know, the devil wanted, guys, it's not even funny. The devil, the devil wanted to destroy my marriage. Jezebel spirit this, Jezebel spirit that. And the Americans were clapping, cheering him on. Nobody even asked this man, like, sir, you are the one who cheated on your wife. Why are we now calling the side chick the devil or the Jezebel, what? You are the one who was married. You knew you were married. Why? So Black Americans will cheer anything that a pastor says. They will stand up and cheer. What I loved about this particular congregation that Khaya was addressing, they didn't cheer sana lam bambombozele. There were murmurs in the crowd, which is why Khaya turned around and said, "Why are you complaining? I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you." Yeah, but you are talking about women. You are calling women rubbish. You're talking about women. So I was proud that these people didn't cheer him on. They complained. And he was like, "Why are you complaining? I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you." It doesn't matter if you're not talking about them. You're talking about women, and you refuse to hold yourself accountable. You are now blaming women, calling them rubbish, when you are in fact attracting exactly what you are. You are attracting what you have been for the past few years. Because just because you're holding the Bible there, just because you can quote a couple of verses from the Bible, just because your father was a pastor and you are now a pastor, doesn't mean you are a catch. It doesn't mean you're a catch. It doesn't mean you're a good person. Yes, it's true that you've messed up. What this man should have said is, instead of saying, the marriage boat has left him, he should have stood there and said, I messed up until my wife divorced me, or until I divorced her. So the marriage boat didn't just leave me, I chased it away. That's what I did. And now I feel like I'm being punished. I need to work on this. Not to stand there with arrogance and saying, hey, I'm attracting rubbish. Now I'm attracting rubbish. But I think Christian men can do this, especially these born-again Christian men. They can say whatever because they are worshipped. They are worshipped by the women in these churches. Women refuse to hold these men accountable, so they can get up there and talk whatever nonsense they want to talk and be out. I have seen it, guys. I've seen it so many times. There is no accountability. This is why people like Khaya can exist. This is why they can get up there on the pulpit and say and spew whatever they're spewing and go sit down, and there's no accountability. Nobody gets blamed. It's always a woman's fault. When you have a good woman in your life, appreciate her. What Khaya should be doing now is going back groveling over there by Ntando. The lady's name is Ntando, and I follow her on Instagram. I don't know why I forget her name. I like her. I follow her. I just cannot remember her name. I think it's Ntando. I can't remember her surname. Khaya Mthethwa should be going there asking for forgiveness so he can put his family back together. That's what he should be doing. Instead of being online, instead of being on the pulpit calling women rubbish, he should be begging that lady to take him back and fixing his family and putting his family together. But none of these men are going to tell him that. They are just going to re-key from church Ndondon. They're going to come here and say, no, what he meant to say was this. No, he means now there's too much advice online. Wara, wara, wara. No, what he means is he wants to dish out something that he cannot take. That's what he means. It's okay when he is rubbish playing with people's emotions, but it's not okay when those people are rubbish playing with him back. It's not okay. Now suddenly there's a problem. Awa, Anisi again. Hi, Anisi again, guys. Learn to be accountable. If you can dish it, you must be able to take it. How?